to the session. This presentation is on supercharged engines, superchargers. Okay, this is for diploma fifth semester automobile engineering of a subject advanced automotive system, which is in the unit. This topic is in the unit 2, second unit. Okay, let's move on to the topic. Table of content. Introduction to supercharge. In this, we going to learn that what is superchargers and working of superchargers, and how it will work in automotive engines. Next, comparison of naturally aspirated and supercharged engines. Naturally aspirated engines means nothing but the engine without supercharged or without a turbocharger, without supercharged charger. Naturally aspirated means the engine piston has to suck the air from the atmosphere itself. So it is called as naturally aspirated engines and supercharged engines. Okay, now we are going to learn about supercharged engines. Both the comparison we will do, and which is better we going to learn in this session. Next, advantages of supercharged engines. Of course, it should have some advantages, some more advantages over naturally aspirated engines, because so that only we are using supercharged engines nowadays, because of more advantages are there when compared to naturally aspirated engines. And types of supercharger means what are the types of superchargers used for the automotive engines. Okay, next, finally some simple multiple choice questions is will be there. Mm. Introduction introduction, what is supercharger? Means the external device or the device that compresses and pumps the air from the atmosphere to the automotive engine. It is called as superchargers. We may call it as a compressor, or we call it as supercharger. It will suck the air from the atmosphere and compresses and pressurizes the air, and it sends to the inlet manifold of the engine. So it is called as supercharger. And how it is changed from naturally aspirated engines. Okay, naturally aspirated engines means I already told that the engine piston during intake stroke it has to suck the air from the atmosphere. During intake stroke, in the inlet manifold, the vacuum is created and the engine needs some power to suck the air from the atmosphere. So some power will be lost during sucking the air from the atmosphere. So it is called as naturally aspirated engines. Supercharged engine means the air is sucked, compressed, and pressurized and sent to the inlet manifold by the external source, means by the external compressor or external device. That device is called as supercharger. And which is better? Means naturally aspirated engines are better, or supercharged engines are better. Which is better means supercharged engines are better, and how that we'll going to learn in this session. So next, working of superchargers. Here you can see the block diagram of the supercharged engine. The engine which has exhaust manifold here and inlet manifold which is shown in blue color. Inlet manifold. Inlet manifold is connected to the compressor which we call as supercharger, which is connected to the compressor. The compressor or supercharger will suck the air from the atmosphere, fresh air from the atmosphere, and then it will compress and pressurize it and send to the inlet manifold. So the inlet manifold will not be filled with vacuum. it is filled with pressurized fresh air so that the engine during intake stroke it has no work to suck the air from the atmosphere because the pressurized air is in the inlet manifold. So there will be no work to suck the engine for the piston. So for the piston, there will no work to suck the air from the atmosphere. So power loss during the suction stroke will be reduced. So now the compressor will suck the air from the atmosphere and compresses and send to the inlet manifold. This compressor is driven by the engine crankshaft. Engine crankshaft is gives the power to the compressor to run the compressor so that the it can suck the air from the atmosphere and compresses to the compress and pressurize it to the inlet manifold. So one drawback in supercharger is the power for the compressor is taken by the engine. The engine has to lose some power to compress the air. This is the one drawback of the supercharged engines. Moreover, more advantages is there as the pressurized air coming from the inlet manifold. The engine will have more volumetric efficiency and more power output so that when compared to naturally aspirated engines, supercharged engines are better than the normal or naturally aspirated engines. Here is the another 3D diagram of the supercharger. You can see that this is a compressor. This is compressor or supercharger. This is a type of root blower type compressor. Root blower type compressor, and this is driven by this. You can see that this is driven by the engine crankshaft. Engine crankshaft from the engine crankshaft, it is taken the drive from the engine crankshaft. So this will run by the engine power. As the this rotates or as this root blower type supercharger rotates, it will suck the air from the atmosphere. Before the air coming to the compressor, it will pass through the air filter, and the fresh air and clean air will go to the supercharger. The supercharger work is to compress and pressurize the fresh air and send it to the inlet manifold. So the engine will have more volumetric efficiency, means the pressurized air will enter into the combustion chamber. So volumetric efficiency means suppose the engine cylinder, single cylinder has 100 cc of space. The engine can suck or the compressor can fill the air to the uh, cylinder. About 150 or 160 cc of air can be filled to the 100 cc of combustion chamber. So that volumetric efficiency will be more about 135% or 150%. 150% of volumetric efficiency can be obtained by this supercharged engine. So that as the volumetric efficiency increases, we can obtain high power output, and also the emission, also the smoke will also reduces. How the as the air as the more air enters, the fuel will get more oxygen to burn the fuel. So as the more oxygen will get to burn the fuel, all fuel will burn completely, and no partial combustion will be there, and the less combustion will be, sorry, the less smoke will produce in this supercharged engines. Uh, Comparison of naturally aspirated and supercharged engines. Here you can see that in left side four-stroke engine working means this is naturally aspirated engine, which is not supercharged. And another one is this is supercharged engine. As earlier I showed, I have shown this figure. Naturally aspirated engine means, as I told that the piston during intake stroke, the piston has to suck the air from the atmospheric, so that there will be work to the piston or work to engine for to suck the air from the atmosphere. So during that time, during intake stroke, the engine will lose some power. Some power will lose to suck the engine, so that naturally aspirated engine, sorry, supercharged engines are better than naturally aspirated engines, because supercharged engines are the engine will not have work to suck the air from the atmosphere, and the vacuum will not be there in the inlet manifold. Uh, the air from the atmosphere is sucked, compressed, and pressurized by the compressor, which is there are some different types of compressors. Let me see in next slides. So that the work done during the intake stroke will be reduced in supercharged engines, and more power output, more horsepower, and volumetric efficiency, and less smoke we can be achieved in supercharged engines. And here are some advantages of supercharged engines. High power output, because high volumetric efficiency, and the compression ratio will be high, and sorry, compression ratio will be high, and more power output will be can be obtained. More power to weight ratio will be more. Means suppose for the 500 kg, assume that 500 kg engine will produce 98 or 90 HP, or 90 kilowatts of power. It will develop 500 kg of engine will develop 90 kilowatt of power. Then the supercharged engine, the same 500 kg engine will develop more than that, means 100 or 120 kilowatts it can develop the supercharged engine. So the power to weight ratio will be more in supercharged engines. Reduces smoke from the exhaust gas. As the more air enters to the combustion chamber, the more oxygen will available for fuel to burn. So smoke or carbon emission can be reduced. And at the same time, NOx emission can be increased. That is a drawback of that is also one drawback of supercharger. But NOx emission can be reduced by incorporating another technology to the supercharger, that I will tell you later. And vacuum created during intake stroke is reduced, means the work done for the piston during intake stroke can be reduced. So, and the main disadvantage in this supercharger is the power. Okay, the power to the compressor, or the power to drive the supercharger is taken from the engine. From engine only it is taken the drive to the compressor. As you see here, the engine crankshaft, means the engine power is provided to the compressor or to the supercharger to run this. So the some power is losing to compress the air. This drawback is overcame by another technology called turbocharger. Means turbocharger, the compressor, the impeller or compressor will run by the exhaust gas force, that you will going to learn in the next sessions. Okay, but this is one main drawback of the superchargers, and that drawback is overcome by the another technology called turbochargers. Okay, now the exhaust gas, as during another drawback is there. I will going to explain. You can see here, during compressing the fresh air from the atmosphere, some heat is produced in this chamber, in this compressor. So that heat will going to the inlet manifold. So the fresh air has some heat or some temperature is there in uh, intake air, so that high temperature means high temperature fresh air enters to the combustion chamber. If it enters to the combustion chamber, due to high temperature and high oxygen is provided in, high air is provided in the uh, combustion chamber, due to high temperature, the NOx emission can be produced. So that is also one main drawback of the supercharged engines. But that drawback is reduced by providing intercooler between the compressor and the engine. In middle, they have uh, adopted nowadays they have adopted some intercoolers, so that the fresh air entering from the compressor will pass through that intercooler, and the high temperature of the fresh air can be reduced, or it will be reduced in this intercooler, and the cool fresh air will be sent to the engine. So by doing this, the NOx emission can be reduced. Next, types of superchargers. Types of superchargers based on positive displacement pump and dynamic compressor. Positive displacement pumps are root blower type and sliding vane type, and dynamic compressors are centrifugal type pump and multi-axle type pump, and some other types also is there, but this is enough for your syllabus. And what the main difference between displacement pump and dynamic compressors are: the positive displacement pumps provides a constant pressure that will pump the air, or that will pump the fluid to the constant level. Means at any speed, it will maintain some constant pressure in displacement pumps. Whereas in dynamic compressor, at low speeds, this centrifugal pump or a multi-axle type pump means dynamic compressors that will not maintain constant pressure. Means at high speed it may compress the air and pressurize the air or fluid. So at low speed, the dynamic compressors may fail to compress the fluid. So the main difference is that the positive displacement pump will maintain a constant pressure at any speed. At low speed also it will maintain some pressure, or it will pump the fluid at some constant pressure. But in dynamic compressor, they at low speed they may not compress the fluid. So that is the main differences. And let me see, root blower type and sliding vane type are positive displacement pumps. That is nothing but they are superchargers. Root blower type superchargers. We call it as root blower type superchargers or sliding vane type superchargers. Okay. Superchargers is nothing but that is a compressor. You can see this in here. Here compressor is provided. This may be a root blower type or a sliding vane type or a centrifugal or multi-axle type. Now let me see one by one. Root blower type. This is the diagram of root blower type compressor, which is positive displacement type. It will maintain constant developed pressure at any speed. Okay, this will rotate. This lower root will rotate in anti-clockwise direction, and this will rotate as clockwise direction. So this end is in contact with the housing, so that while rotating this anti-clockwise direction, some the fresh air or air from the atmosphere is sucked and pressurized. Here it is pressurized as it rotates anti-clockwise direction. It will come here and the pressurized fluid or air will be pressurized to the outlet. From here, as it rotates, it will come here and the pressurized fluid will enter here. Same thing like this upper side also, as it rotates clockwise direction, it will come here and the pressurized some fluid will fill here, and as it rotates, it pressurizes and the pressurized fluid will be pumped to the exit. So in this way, the root blower type compressor will work. Next, vane type, sorry, sliding vane type supercharger or sliding vane type compressor, you can call it as a compressor. This is also one of the type of positive displacement pump. As you can see that this is inlet and this is outlet. As the air or fluid comes from the atmosphere, the sliding vane here a slot is provided and the vane is provided. When as the pump rotates, the sliding vane will, due to centrifugal force, it will act on either other side of the wall of the vane, sorry, of the housing. As it rotates, it will make contact with this housing and come, and here you can see that it will come in contact with the housing, and the fluid, as the air enters to the chamber or housing, the some air is taken by the vane. Here some gap is provided, so the air will be filled with filled in this area, and the sliding vane, as it passes here in this position, it will compress the, and in coming next position here, it will not allow the air to go back from here to here. It will not allow the air to go back to the uh, again it will it will not allow the air to enter return, so that the pressure from this position it will start pressurizing the air. It will start pressurizing the air, and as it rotates in anti-clockwise direction, it will pressurize, and the pressurized air will enter to the outlet, or it will pumped out to the outlet. This type of sliding vane type compressor or superchargers is also used in automotive industries. Next, centrifugal pumps and multi-axial pump. Both are dynamic compressor. You can see here, this is outlet. Inlet is not shown. Inlet in is this centrally there will be one hollow pipe, so that as the impeller rotates in anti-clockwise direction, impeller rotates due to centrifugal force, the fluid throws outside from the compressor. So here some vacuum is created. So in center vacuum is created. Here it will suck the air from the atmosphere, and then the sucked air is uh, due to centrifugal force, it will throw out from the center to the outside. That will pump the fluid to the outside, so that if it is running at low speed, it will not, the pump will not able to pump the air at low speed, because you can see here the impeller is not in contact with the housing, and as it works on centrifugal force, as the force is available highly, then the uh, pumping the air or fluid also will be high. As the speed decreases, the pump may not able to pump the fluid at very low speeds. This is main drawback of the dynamic compressors. And multi-axial pump. This is multi-axial compressor. This is nothing but same as centrifugal pumps. This is also centrifugal impellers. But only the thing is they provide two or more. Here they are provided one, two, three, four center impellers which is connected axially, so that axially, and the fresh air enters from this side as it pumps. All impeller will helps to pump the fluid from atmosphere to the where we need. And another one is this multi-axle pump you may seen in some water pumps. Water pumps like bore wells, they provide this multi-axle pumps. Finally, some sorry. Finally, some simple multiple choice questions. Firstly, by using superchargers, we can increase volumetric efficiency. True or false? Yes, this is the main thing of the superchargers. We can increase the volumetric efficiency of the engine. So, answer is true. And supercharger can be used for only gasoline engine, only diesel engines, both gasoline and diesel engines, which is correct. Gasoline engine means petrol engines, it's nothing but a petrol engine, and we know that we can use superchargers for both gasoline and diesel engines. Nowadays, diesel engines are provided with the turbochargers, not superchargers, because turbochargers have more advantages. And as I told, the power from the engine, it will not take power from the engine. The waste exhaust gas force is used for the to compress the fresh air. So that in diesel engines nowadays turbochargers are mostly provided, but the answer is for this question. Answer is both. We can use superchargers for both gasoline engine and diesel engines. So the answer is C. But nowadays they are using for diesel engine turbochargers. They are using. Supercharger pumps use engine power to compress the air. True or false? Means the supercharger pumps means compressor uses engine power. Yes, obviously the engine power is taken to run the superchargers. True. In supercharged engines, the compressor is mounted between the air filter and what? Fuel filter, intake manifold, exhaust manifold, oil filter. As you can see that here you can see that the compressor is mounted between, in this diagram, is mounted between air filter and inlet manifold. In between these two, the compressor is mounted, not the fuel filter, not the oil filter or exhaust manifold. It is intake manifold. Answer is. Which one of the following sentence is wrong? Supercharged engines have high volumetric efficiency. Yes, correct. This is right. Here the question is which one of the following is sentence is wrong. Supercharged engine have more power output. Yes, this is also true. Supercharged engine do not use engine power to compress the air. No, this is false. They use the engine power to compress the air. Supercharged engines have more power to weight ratio. Thus, yes, this is also right. And the wrong sentence is supercharged engine does not use engine power to compress the engine. Sorry, to compress the air. So the answer is C. And then finally, if you have more doubts in this session, you can refer Automobile Engineering Volume 2 by Kirpal Singh and IC Engines by Mathur and Sharma. These two textbooks have a detailed view of superchargers, and you can also go through in a net also, and also in www.howstuff.com. In this website there are some videos, some useful videos about superchargers, and also turbochargers is also there. You can go through that. in YouTube videos also. And mainly, the if you want a textbook, you can refer Kirpal Singh Automobile Engineering Volume 2 and IC Engines by Mathur and Sharma. Okay, thank you.